You're helping them mess over colored people. That's what you're doing. This is a
That's
racist act by you and Miss McDonald and your entire courtroom. Y'all doing this against, y'all don't do this to the Caucasians, but every colored person come in your courtroom, you want to put this in their car and hold this against them the rest of their life.
Well, it sounds like it might be something that's related to you more than the attorneys, since you've now gone through 2 attorneys.
I'm going by what the law is saying. It's obviously you're not following the law. If you think you're going to keep getting away with it, this is the way we going with this. All this about some other shit and this other person and that person.
In your honor, at this point, I would ask the court to allow me to feel at this point I have a conflict.
This guy walks into court like he's the main character in a courtroom drama only he understands. No license, no accountability, and way too much confidence. The second the judge doesn't cater to his fantasy, he pulls the racism card like it's a cheat code, completely ignoring the fact that he's literally on trial for breaking the law. His whole vibe screams sovereign citizen starter pack with a side of delusion and zero legal grounding. What most people don't realize is that driving without a valid license isn't some minor slip-up, it's treated as a threat to public safety, and judges don't mess around with that. So be honest, do you think this guy actually believes what he's saying, or is he just throwing legal spaghetti at the wall? Let's go ahead and dive in.
James, go ahead and activate your audio.
Yeah, I have no problem with that.
Well, I have a problem understanding what's going on. You had previous counsel with SMH. You were then given conflict counsel with Mr. Smith. Are you planning to hire private counsel?
No, ma'am. I didn't ask him to withdraw.
Yourself?
No, ma'am. I didn't ask him to withdraw. He took it upon himself to do that. I have nothing to do with me.
Did you file a bar complaint against him?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And how do you think that's going to affect your working relationship with your attorney?
He needs to do his job. It was some things that you informed him to do that he did not do. For us getting the evidence for me to prove that I didn't commit this crime that you guys got me charged with. He was supposed to get in touch with Interlock. You told me that he don't have to get in touch with Interlock. I'm of the belief that's his duty to get in touch with Interlock to find out what's going on, and he haven't done his job. And he made that decision. It wasn't me this time. He made this decision. I can't afford an attorney. I need another attorney.
Well, we don't have unlimited attorneys to give you. It sounds like you have issues with the attorneys that get assigned to you. And that began.
That's not my fault.
Well, it sounds like it might be something that's related to you more than the attorneys, since you've now gone through 2 attorneys. So, Mr. James, I don't know how we're going to proceed on this case. We don't have unlimited attorneys that are contracted with this court to assign to you.
That's not my fault.
Well,
if you're going to tell the attorneys that they don't have to help me, then what am I going to do? You told me in open court December the 16th that they don't have to do anything for me. I have a Sixth Amendment right to be represented by attorneys.
Yes. And Mr.
And they're not doing that.
Equivocally, I did not say your attorneys don't have to do anything for you. So that's just not true. And
what was you referring to? What was you referring to when you said that? When you stated that my attorneys, what was you referring to when I told you that I needed them to get in touch with Interlock? These are the people that are holding me in here, bringing false charges against me. Everything they charged me with, I served my punishment on that already. With Interlock charges.
Those are 2 different things, Mr. James. You are charged with driving on a suspended license. The issue is whether or not the Department of Licensing suspended your license, whether you were given notice and due process, and the information pertaining to your status, and whether you chose to drive after the fact. Those are the relevant issues. You may have other concerns. I don't know your situation with Interlock. I know you have
He's not calling himself a sovereign citizen, but the attitude is straight out of their greatest hits album. Talking down to his attorney like he's auditioning for Courtroom CEO. Public defenders aren't there to be bossed around, they're there to defend you within the grounds of actual law, not whatever fantasy rulebook you're working off of. Judges see this kind of behavior and clock it instantly. It signals that you're more interested in control than resolution. And in legal terms, that's the courtroom equivalent of lighting yourself on fire just to prove you're heat proof.
Beef with them about whether or not they conveyed information to someone. I believe that's what you've said previously.
Well, you guys are their enforcers. Y'all enforcing and talks like. I just spoke to DOL. They say they're not going to get involved with what's going on with me, and it talks a lot.
That's
You
right.
can't
You
make it
personally
talks a lot.
do it and
Give
talks
them
a
the
lot.
compliance.
That is
And
not, that's whether or not you had a valid license on the date of violation is the question.
Well,
So
who's holding me in here? Who am I fighting against? Who said I don't? Who said my license is suspended?
the Department of Licensing says that you did not have a valid license on the date of violation. I'm assuming that's what Ms. McDonald has in her file, and that's why she filed charges, and that's why they're proceeding.
Correct.
They told the DOL informed me that they didn't suspend my license. They can't make Interlock give them the compliance. And Interlock sent me a settlement letter saying if I paid $139, I will receive my license back. I paid $139. They still haven't gave me my license back. So they led me to believe if I pay this amount, they would give me my license back. The amount was paid, and they still have not gave me my license back. Now they're saying it's something else.
No, you're still showing as suspended, Mr. James, as of right now, and there's a reinstatement condition that you have ignition interlock with compliance for at least 4 months. That is a requirement.
The court said I complied. The sentencing court said I complied with the 4 months.
What citizen court? I don't know what you're talking about.
The court that sentenced me in Seattle District Court. Seattle District Court said I complied with my 4 months. They said they was monitoring me at the same time Interlock was monitoring me. They both had my car under GPS monitoring me. And the court that sentenced me to the 4 months, they said I complied with my 4 months. They said that they had a tab on me just like Interlock did. They said I'm finished. I talked to the clerk of court. They said they also was GPSing and monitoring my car during the same 4 months Interlock was. And they said I completed the 4 months. So if the court was monitoring me at the same time the Interlock was monitoring me for 4 months, the court said I completed it. Because if the court otherwise,
what are you talking about?
Otherwise, they would have turned over.
Mr.
Otherwise,
James.
they would have notified
Mr. James,
DOL to suspend
Mr.
my
James,
license.
what court are you talking about? I think you hear what you want
King
to
County District Court. King County District Court, the court that sentenced me on the DUI charge. There is no other court, ma'am. The court that sentenced me on the DUI charge. The court that sentenced me to the 4 months compliance with the DUI. No more than 4 months. It could have been less than 4 months. It was on my car. The court that sentenced me was monitoring my car.
Right? The 2015
yes, ma'am.
case, you were sentenced in 2018.
But the court was monitoring me at the same from November to 2021 all the way to March of 2022. The court was monitoring my car as I was driving. The court that sentenced me, they say that's their job to monitor everybody they put on DUI, and they have to have that interlock device. They monitored me for the whole 4 months. The judge said I'm finished. I successfully completed it. And he said case was effectively immediately closed. Who opened it back up? Your guess was Interlock. They opened it back up. They went against the court's order and opened the case back up. The case was closed. The court said they monitored me the whole 4 months I had the thing in my car. That was the court that sentenced me. That's Seattle District Court, the West Division. I talked to the clerk of court. They said he monitored the whole 4 months it was in my car. They said, and they sent me an order saying I successfully completed the 4 months and that this case is closed. So if the court is saying I'm finished and the Interlock is saying I'm not finished, we have to go on what the sentencing court is saying.
This guy's acting like once the courtroom part ended, the DMV just gave him a high five and his license back. Absolutely not. After a DUI, your driving privileges are basically on life support and the state's watching every breath you take, literally. Interlock devices don't just test sobriety, they log every start attempt, failure, and skipped calibration like it's building a case against you. So if you ignore the rules, you're not kind of allowed to drive, you're illegally behind the wheel with extra steps.
I'm going on with the sentencing court.
Well, then you are doing that to your detriment. So if you choose not to listen to your attorneys, you are still showing suspended. Your status is
my attorney haven't told me anything. My attorney is not even talking to me. He won't even get in touch with me. He haven't told me anything. One attorney said, Sean Parent said, I need to put it back in my car 11 more months. It was already in my car 14 months. And you keep saying I have to put it in there for 4 months. The machine was in my car for 14 total months until they was ordered to take it out of there. Had I would have taken it out, a warrant would have been placed for my arrest. I didn't take it out. The people who put it in my car took it out.
There could be two different things going on. The court may have ordered you to have an ignition interlock device as a condition of your release while the case was pending. If you entered a guilty plea to the DUI or were found guilty, then the Department of Licensing will impose certain restrictions based upon your plea. And that may be what's going on.
I did everything. I took the classes. I took the DUI classes. I paid all the
and I think your
victim fund.
DUI,
I did everything, all that. I did all that already.
Okay. If you would stop talking, I think your DUI case is closed, but you still have obligations to the Department of Licensing. They have their own systems in place. And
they told me I don't. They told me I don't. In a recent email that I got from them 2 weeks ago, they said they have nothing to do with this. They don't want it. They say this, everything that's going on, DOL told me, is between me and Intoxilot. They say I broke the conditions of Intoxilot, not DOL. They say that Intoxilot saying I broke the condition.
So, Mr. James, it appears to me that Intoxilot is not going to show that you're in compliance for whatever reason, and that is your beef with Intoxilot. Okay? But if Intoxilot is not sending the proof to the court or to DOL, it's not the court, it's to DOL, then they're not going to lift the restriction. They're not going to show that.
I understand that, but it's DOL is not holding my life. DOL is have to go by what Intoxilot said.
Right. And
everything you saying,
DOL does not have proof. DOL apparently does not have proof that you have the 4 months compliance.
Well, I told them they can contact the sentencing court. The sentencing court has the proof.
That is
otherwise
not,
they would have never told me.
Not the same. So, Mr. James, if you choose to just disregard what people are saying to you, you're just.
I'm going by what the law is saying. It's obviously you're not following the law, Your Honor. You're not following the law. You're upholding something illegal for Intoxilot. You're helping them mess over colored people. That's what you're doing. This is a racist act by you and Ms. McDonald and your entire courtroom. Y'all doing this against. Y'all don't do this to the Caucasians. I have sat in your courtroom. I have watched you not give Caucasians the Intoxilot machine. You did not put that in a car. Instead, you'll give them a fine. But every colored person come in your courtroom, you want to put this in a car and hold this against them the rest of their life. If Intoxilot had authority over me, then that means I'll have that thing in my car the rest of my life. If you give them the authority and you uphold Intoxilot authority, it's obviously you own Intoxilot in payroll. So it's obviously Intoxilot is paying you to mess with colored people. And that's what's going on. They pay you to mess with colored people and to keep that on their car.
Because you're saying a lot of things that don't make any sense at all. I'm not doing this to persons of color. That is simply not true. I'm not
doing this to everybody over the United States of color.
Have anything to do with Intoxilot. I don't think DOL cares.
You upholding a legal. First of all, no law should be enforced that deny me privileges and punish me. You can't use a law against me to keep denying me of privileges. And you're intentionally doing it, Your Honor. You're intentionally using some old piece of law that somebody said.
This guy's acting like DUI court is some kind of one and done event, not a legal lifestyle change. Once that conviction hits, you're not just dealing with punishment, you're dealing with regulation, compliance, and a paper trail that doesn't forget. The louder he yells about injustice, the more obvious it is that he'll never read a single condition of his restricted license. At this point, it's less about the law being unfair and more about him refusing to catch up to reality.
To deny me privileges and to constantly punish me. I done been found guilty. I done served my time. I did everything. The court said I complied with the 4 months. You started telling me about another punishment. You cannot use a law to punish me and keep denying me my driving privileges. If you think you're going to keep getting away with it, this is the way we going with this. You can't use a law. Nobody can enforce a law in violation of my due process rights. Nobody can use a law to continually deny me of my driving privileges. All this about some other shit and this other person and that person. They don't have nothing to do with our Constitution.
James, I'm concerned.
It has nothing to do with our Constitution.
Do we need to have a
keep using the law to deny me privileges? This case been going on for 10 years. I'm still on my first offense DUI for 10 years. Common sense will tell you this is ludicrous. This is bull crap. You can't keep using the same case to punish me.
Mr.
James?
James, you've been muted. I'm concerned whether or not we need a forensic evaluation. I don't know. I mean, I think Mr. James is just angry with the system.
Well, Your Honor, the bottom line is he didn't fully pay the Interlock people. I think he paid a settlement amount, and somehow that letter did not get to DOL, or they didn't uphold their end of a partial payment to give the information that he did his ignition interlock to the DOL. So that's, I think, where we are.
That is not a situation that I have any control over for him and for his relationship with Intoxalot. Mr. James is facing a new case in King County District Court. And I can see that would be very frustrating if he has complied and it's simply a matter of not paying. But the Department of Licensing is the one for any future release of his driving status. Let's see.
I just paid them their money in January, and then they came with they gave DOL some information to give me last month, saying that I did something on May 23rd of 2022. Right after I paid them their money, they led me to, right after I gave them their last payment, they sent me a settlement offer that if I pay this $139, that is over with. Right after I paid them, they close my account. They close my account with Intoxalot. Then when DOL talked to them, they open the account back up and say I did something else wrong. So you can't keep enforcing the law to keep denying me of my account. You can't keep denying me privileges like this, enforcing this law against me over and over again, the same law, the same case over and over. You can't keep doing it.
Mr. James?
And I think we're ready for federal court. I think we can take this to federal court.
Mr. James?
Because y'all don't respect this.
We are in a position right now where Mr. Smith has made a motion to withdraw due to a conflict given the bar complaint. And I think that we could be here all afternoon with Mr. James voicing his frustrations. So I think we just need to handle the issue of the conflict and figure out conflict counsel and go on from there. Speedy trial under the rules would restart today with the conflict. So I would ask for that calculation as well.
Let me know in the comments, was this courtroom meltdown frustrating or just plain sad? Because watching a grown man argue with legal reality like it's optional is starting to feel like a weird genre of performance art. The court wasn't even there to debate his DUI, that's a done deal. This was about him still driving like the rules don't apply. What most people don't realize is once you're flagged for non-compliance, you're basically driving illegally even if you think you're allowed. So here's the real question, should courts spend more time explaining this stuff, or is it on the individual to figure it out before the handcuffs come out? Drop your thoughts below, hit like and subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.